G'day everyone and welcome to my art channel Brushes with Beck. Today's video is just a quick little one where I'm using my Caran D'Ache Luminance pencils and one of my Faber-Castell Polychromos pencils just for a colour tone that I needed for this quick little piece. Now I need to preface that, not like my normal pieces that I do, this isn't a long, very realistic, highly detailed piece. This is a piece I did in an hour today because I wanted to test out my luminance pencils. I wanted to use them properly on a piece for the first time and just feel how they went down on the paper. Now I am using a smooth paper today, which I don't normally use. I am using the Fabriano Studio Hot-pressed watercolour paper, which gives a very smooth finish, and that is my cat Jasiri helping out as well. So the first thing I noticed with these luminance pencils is that the colour lays down very boldly even when you're not applying very much pressure. So I found it quite tricky to get lighter greys because I only really have that. I've got a range of brown tones and a blue-grey tone, a darker tone, and even when applying really light pressure, the colour just lays down very rich, so it is hard to get a lighter colour tone with my limited colour selection here. But it does mean that you don't have to apply a lot of pressure with these pencils to get a rich colour application, which is very good. So that was something that I very quickly noticed about these pencils, is that the colour lays down very vividly without much pressure at all. So I do really enjoy these pale tones. There's Herculanium Red and Burnt Sienna 10%. One's a sort of a peachy pink and the other one's sort of a very soft purpley pink that you see on the top of the colour chart there on the left hand side of my drawing. They were absolutely beautiful and the perfect tones for this piece, and I was able to combine them with that Polychromos colour, which is the light yellow ochre, to get the orange tones that I needed in this piece. So overall, I really enjoyed the way these pencils laid down. I still had that issue with the Cassel Earth that I had when I did my pencil swatches, where it's a little bit scratchy, and I'm told I should try and send that back. I haven't actually gotten around to that yet. But I was able to get some really nice rich colours. I sharpened the Cassel Earth to do the eyes there. I did break that point quite easily, but that may not be a reflection of the Caran D'Ache Luminance pencils. That might simply be a reflection of that pencil itself potentially being faulty. Since it is scratchy, it may not be quite the same makeup as the other pencils. So the other colour tone that I really liked for this piece was that sort of that Burnt Sienna 50% tone, that reddish purpley, maroni, I don't know what to call it, maroni tone. Absolutely gorgeous for some shadow areas in this piece. And I found that colour went down really nicely. I had trouble laying down the raw umber. I think it was the raw umber 50% or the raw umber itself. I felt that it didn't go down very smoothly, but that could have just been a limitation of possibly the smooth paper that I was using and the number of layers I was applying. Because I was being very rough with this piece. I did some sort of earlier, lighter layers, but very roughly, and was just laying down colour over the top of those layers and just building up very quickly to where I wanted it to, just to get the colours accurately. And you can obviously see I'm not putting in a lot of detail. I'm putting in some hints of fur texture here and there, but detail is basically non-existent in this piece. But I really wanted to get an idea of the colours and contrast, how easily the pencils lay down, which they lay down very easily. I've had trouble getting a smooth finish with a couple of the colours. Like I said, that was mainly the raw umber, but again, possibly the paper choice as well with the amount of layering I'd done and the fact that my pencil wasn't overly sharp. So keeping in mind all of that, and the fact that this is the first time I am using these pencils, I really enjoyed using them. I don't have really anything bad to say about them. They're very nice pencils. The colour, like I said, is rich and beautiful and goes on very easily, which is always something you want with a colour pencil. You don't want to have to be fighting to lay that colour down. So that was really good for this piece. Before I forget, I wanted to say a huge thank you to every single one of you that have liked my videos, given me a thumbs up, commented, but most of all subscribed, because this week I hit 1,000 subscribers, which is a pretty big milestone. So I wanted to say thank you very much to all of you who have subscribed to my channel, and that really means a lot to me. So hopefully we can continue to grow this channel in the future. And if you're not subscribed already, please make sure you do to keep growing it. So like I said, this was a very quick piece. I completed this in about an hour, so I wasn't so much focused on detail, like I said, and accuracy in that regard, but just getting a feel for these pencils, and I did really enjoy using them. When I swatched these pencils out, I mentioned that they didn't feel like a wax pencil at all, which they don't, not compared to my Derwent drawing pencils, which are very, very waxy. But using them on a piece like this with a bit more pressure and laying them over the top of each other, I do get some impression of that waxy feeling compared to, say, using just polychromos, but they don't feel especially waxy. They don't feel really creamy when I'm using them. They're just smooth and nice to use. So I ended up using every single one of the colours that I purchased here, and including that sort of darker green colour. I think it's olive brown rather, and I put that in the rock in the bottom corner just to say that I had actually used it. So that's really it from me this video. I know it's been a very quick one, but I had to try out my Luminance pencils. It took me forever to find something in a colour scheme that I could actually achieve with my limited colour range, but got there in the end and it worked out really nicely. And you've had a lot of features of my cat Jasiri. She was just pretty much begging me for breakfast while I was working on this, so that's why she's been so in my face during this piece. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Please give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'll see you again next week for another video. Stay creative.